As the students come in from the classroom, this will be up on the board as our starter. I will have a little bowl with popsicle sticks with their names on it. So in the lesson, they will read that today we'll be receiving a treat. The picture of the candy will be able to give them an idea of what kind of treat it'll be. When the kids sit down, I will start calling them by table to come pick out 2 pieces of candy. After they all pick out their 2 pieces of candy, they will stay in their seats until all classmates have 2 pieces of candy. After everyone has been sitting in their seats waiting patiently, I will draw 5 random sticks out of the tub, and those 5 students will then get to pick 5 random students to take 1 piece of candy from, giving them 3 pieces of candy and the other students 1. After we do this, we will then move on to the next part. In this lesson, I want the children to understand, why does this make you feel this way? So why does the fact that you got a piece of candy taken away make you sad, confused, or mad? Then we will talk about feelings. Are you happy about it? Are you sad about it? Is it fair? And what would be fair in this scenario? So some of the students may only have 1 piece of candy, 2 pieces of candy, or 3 pieces of candy. We will go through this exercise showing how this can make other feelings come out. We will talk about feelings and what this also can be related to. After we go into this, we will move on to the next slide. We will bring up the word bully. I will ask the students, what does bully mean to you? We will talk about various definitions that students give and what their meaning of bully is. After we talk about the meaning of bully, we will ask students, have you ever been bullied? This will give an idea of students who maybe have had their feelings hurt. We will also ask, in your own words, how would you describe a bully? So I want them to take a piece of paper and write in their own words how they would describe a bully. I will go around the room and we will have a few students share what they would describe a bully as. It can be an action, something that they have witnessed, something they have done. Next, we will talk about the definition of bully. And the definition of bully is a person who habitually speaks to harm or intimidate those who those who they perceive as vulnerable. So a bully can be really anybody that is going to intimidate or seek someone who may be easy as a target. They're going to do anything that will hurt that person's feelings, and it may be to make that bully feel good about themselves, or maybe they're having a rough day or they've been bullied. They're going to do it for some reason. Once we go into the definition of bully and talk about that, we're going to read the book, The Juice Box Bully by Bob Sorensen. This book is aiming to empower kids to stand up to others and not be a bystander, just as Pete was like in this book. He was able to not be a bystander and help protect a peer from a bully. Once we read the book, this will be the next question I ask my students for discussion. How can we help a friend or peer that is being bullied? We will go through various scenarios from other students and how they would help a friend or peer that is being bullied. Then, once we talk about their ideas, I will move on to a little summary of things that I put together of questions to see if they also thought the same thing. These scenario questions would be, can we confront an adult? So could we confront an adult about the bully? The answer would be yes, we can. We can go to an adult and tell them what the situation is and if we would like to help the peer and remove the bully from the situation. Also, we can confront the bully ourselves to stop it and take you and your friend or peer somewhere else. Yes, we can do that. We are able to go ahead and tell the bully what they are doing, what we know they're doing, so that way we can stop them in their tracks and let them know that what they're doing is not okay. That we are the bigger person and they are not hurting us by any means. We want them to know that they are not intimidating us and that they cannot hurt us and they shouldn't do it to anybody else. We then need to remove ourselves from the situation and walk away. I would like to summarize what did Pete do in the book we read. So I would like to summarize what Pete did in the Juice Box Bully with the students after we read, and how he was able to protect a peer from a bully. So this is called a star chart. This is just an example to show my students, and these would be the explanation rules for a star chart. So in my classroom, I would like to have a star chart similar to this one. It'll have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then the names of the students. So how the star chart work would be students can do any kind of act of kindness, whether it would be in the classroom, outside the classroom, if a teacher on recess sees them, lunch ladies, really anybody, it could be a friend that saw an act of kindness. They would report the act of kindness to me, and I would decide whether or not you get a star to add to the chart. Each day you would get the opportunity to have a star with your name next to the day. How this would work is a reward system. So in order for the star to get put up there, I will set it in your mailbox or on your desk, depending on how the day goes. And at the end of the day, you can check your mailbox or desk for any stars, stickers, and go add them to your chart for that day. You could also get multiple stars. On this example, it's only showing that you can get 1 star per day, but there is an opportunity to get more than 1 star. At the end of the month, we will have our star student. You can only be a star student once. So we will go down the line with whoever has the most, and if they've already been a star student, then we'll go to the next person. This will allow each student in the classroom to have their time to shine on something that they did, and then we would give a project proposal on anti-bullying. They can make a poster, they can lead an idea or activity in the class, really anything that would be due to anti-bullying. After the star chart, we will go on to an assessment. But before the assessment begins, I would like to read a scenario off and talk about it, so that way I can understand that the students will go through the assessment okay. I want to assess the students in a way that will make sure that they understand what bullying is and what it can do to somebody and how to protect someone from bullying. So this is the scenario that I have found that I would like to use. The scenario says, the girls at school have been keeping their distance from Grace. No one will sit next to her at lunch. They hold their noses when they pass her in the hall and whisper to each other in their presence. After weeks of this treatment, Grace finds out from another student that a small group of students have been telling everyone that Grace only takes a bath once a week and that her family never washes their clothes. The next day in science lab, the students were conducting an experiment with a bad-smelling chemical. The students at the station across from Grace commented loudly, "This must be Grace's shampoo." The other students in the area bursted out laughing. So we will talk about how Grace would feel in this scenario. which moves me to the next slide. The caption says, stand up, speak up. How would you feel if you were Grace in this situation? So we would go through how would we feel if we were Grace in the situation that Grace has been put in. Were they bullying Grace? Was this an act of bullying, or were they just teasing her? And even if they were teasing her, was it nice? How could Grace have handled the situation? So what's something in your shoes, if you were in Grace's shoes, that you would have done to handle the situation, or what could Grace have said back to them? And if Grace was too upset, what could you do as a peer to help Grace? So this is just something that I would go through, and this would be a very similar setup to their assessment. They would get a scenario, they would get 3 questions, and have to answer them, and I would assess just to make sure that they understand what bullying is and how to handle a bullying situation.